quiz activity is receiving several notable improvements in this summer's upgrade to AsULearn. In this quiz, the first 2 questions represent new question types available in this summer's version of AsULearn. The rest of the questions cover existing question types that were already there. This gives me an opportunity to demonstrate something that folks have been asking about, which is, how can I show students the distinct sections of a quiz in which they are answering questions? Or to put that another way, if your quiz is assessing students on concepts A, B, and C, is there a way to show the students how they have performed in each individual concept? And that is now possible in the quiz activity. When you create a new quiz and access the questions page inside it, you'll notice a pencil icon on its own at the very top. When you click on this, you can edit the very first section of your quiz. Once you've created that section, any add menu below the very first section will now have a new option where instead of just adding questions, you can add a new section heading. And you can add as many headings as you want inside each quiz. So now when students begin new quiz attempts, your sections will appear in the quiz navigation on the right side of the page. However, we can take this navigation a step further. Back on the questions page for the quiz, you'll have a new drop-down menu at the top that allows you to navigate to a new page called Grade Items Setup. I want to be very clear before we move forward that Grade Item Setup is only for the quiz itself. And in the gradebook, the students will only ever see one cumulative grade for how they performed on this quiz. This is a point of clarification because gradebook columns are often called grade items. So again, any quiz you create in your course will only ever have one gradebook column with one associated grade. However, if inside my quiz I access the grade item setup page and I create grade items for the quiz itself, then when my students check their grade inside the quiz activity, they will see a breakdown of how they performed in each individual section. Now, I will have the option to add a grade item on my own, or if I've set up sections on the questions page of my quiz, I can just click the button that says set up a grade for each section. And not only will it create grade items for each section in my quiz, it will also automatically assign that grade item to each question in that section. This summer, you also gain access to a new question type in quiz called the ordering question type. By default, this allows you to enter responses that are single words, short phrases, sentences, or paragraphs that the students then need to arrange in the correct order. This question type is fully accessible, and students can rearrange the responses by either clicking and dragging responses, clicking the arrow icons with a pointing device, or navigating with a keyboard. This question type can also be modified to use images instead of text, which functionally creates an ordering image-based question type. Finally, the Regrade Attempts interface has been updated in this version of AsULearn. Previously, you would select an individual or all attempts, and then click a Regrade button. This is especially useful in circumstances where you find that you have accidentally miscoded the correct response on one or more questions. But that interface has been improved to give you more granular control over how regrades work. In this instance, I've selected an attempt, and I'm going to click the Regrade Attempts button. The top row of options allows me to regrade either all attempts or the selected attempts, and the second row allows me to regrade all the questions or just the selected questions. And just like before, I have the option to do a dry run, which will show me how grades might change if I were to regrade all those questions. Or if I feel confident in my changes, I can simply click the Regrade Now button. So as you can see, quiz is getting even better this summer with new section headings, the ability to offer section grading breakdown for students, a brand new question type, and more granular control if you find that you need to regrade attempts.